just going to be a live here. I'm not recording it to Rumble today just because it is what it is. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the news today and how everybody's feeling and maybe some of the things that I think is going on, especially here in Alberta, um, with what our premier is talking about. People who live in Alberta. Oh, hi, Axel. The cat that doesn't like me just popped his head around. Someone's talking here. Yeah, and he moved on. He won't come for a visit, much like Oliver. So, anyways, the premier here, Danielle Smith, in Alberta, yesterday announced that she was introducing a sovereignty act to fight against the federal regulations that were unconstitutional to Albertans. Let me explain what I think is happening, and I think Alberta is the first one to participate in this. So, if you remember last year, I talked about a word called devolution, Devoultion, and I talked about it while I was in Ottawa as well. And what is happening right now, many characters have been brought forth in the last 2 years to try and not explain, but crack open things that need to happen in our government in front of the normies visually so they can see what's going on. So, one of the first things she did when she was in office was take the Alberta health system, fire all the top people, and put it with one person. Imagine what happens when that one or two people are way more effective than people who have been taking all of our money. So, anyways, what we need to physically for normies to see is these events happening where it does look like Alberta is on its own and sovereign. So, I'm just going to bring up something that I think from my own personal experience last year with many people are still commenting on Romana, okay? Even like the last three videos. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But here's the thing that I found interesting. And one of my friends had mentioned she probably won't go back to British Columbia. And I was thinking about that. And I was questioned, and she hasn't. And to my knowledge, I don't know. Um, I was questioned by the RCMP from British Columbia, but they had to phone me. I was on my way back from Montreal. They had to phone me and ask my permission to meet with me in Alberta on my home turf to be questioned, because I'm such a criminal. I didn't do anything wrong. So, what I'm saying in all of this is a long time ago, the jurisdiction of Canada was changed. So even the RCMP have to ask province to province for permission. And if you go back to that province, it's like, there's a warrant out for your arrest only in British Columbia RCMP, which I find is weird because it's Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Now, here's the other thing on that spin. When they did come to question me, I did ask them if they knew about the murderbydecree.com and the RCMP being on the guilty verdict of January 15th, 2022. And both of those people, those constables that were there at my place, well, at my friend's place, um, said yes, they knew about that. And so if you're aware of that, then you're now like being agents of a corporation in my eyes. If you know that your bosses and the people that pay your paychecks of that agency are on a guilty verdict for so many things like crimes against humanity, human trafficking, the whole COVID thing. Can't even say these words without mumbling them. So, some of the things that have been going on. So, here's my thoughts to all of it. Perhaps we are a republic already, the Republic of Alberta, and Danielle is just the Like, we all know all the bad actors have been replaced with good actors. So maybe she's the one who's showing Alberta how to go through devolution. And I do believe the person who commented on my YouTube last year about devolution in the reservations was from Alberta too. Correct me if I'm wrong, person, if you're still watching the videos. But anyways, so we have to go through these stages where we have, like, why is this person doing this? Going across Canada to light a flag on fire. Why is that happening? What is she saying there? Why is she allowed to do that on Parliament grounds and not get arrested? Why is so many things happening in Ottawa that a lot of people didn't really understand or realize at the time, even myself included? But I just knew we were in, like, heavy duty spiritual war. I wouldn't have been there if it wasn't of my highest integrity and intention to view and observe, okay? So here's the other flip side of the story that are coming out, even with Ottawa, is that, yeah, there were FBI, there were CIA implants, there were CSIS implants that were truckers. Hello, I saw, so there's this big, huge operation that was going on now, and we see the revelation of why some people were necessary to the story. So in that case, there was a timeline that needed to be open within the trucker movement. There had to be a person that was standing up for the children. And that's what Romana did. So in the first year before she, or in the months leading up, it was all about everything we believed in, working together, working person to person in the groceries group, in the hay groups, blah, blah, blah. But it also changed the consciousness in Ottawa on a level. Like, everybody either thought that was crazy, or when they heard how corrupt the government was and why the flag was the way it was and why it had to be just a signal, to start this different vibration. So all I see going on now is things like that happening in certain communities. And we're about the precipice of so many things happening in China. Like, Chinese people here in Canada are standing up in Toronto and all these places. And Iran, they were out on the streets, albeit today it's minus 23 or something out. It's so cold. So we have this big push to have this big scare event happening, and it's on the verge. So I just posted a few things on my Telegram that I kind of wanted to go through that I thought were fairly interesting. First of all, Kanye West on Twitter. All of a sudden he's got his Twitter, and then all of a sudden it's like canceled today. Interesting. Why? So that's a marker. When DJT did his little speech the other day, or actually it was like a tweet or something, not a tweet, but a truth. He was standing up for a Republican candidate, and the news article place where it was being reported to was, I believe, yellowhammer.com. And for me, I just see a picture here and sit in front of me, and it's Fauci holding a yellow folder. So there's a lot of things that are going to be happening. So your job during all of this is to kind of get the big picture of why we need to see these things happen in our movie. I'm not a political person. I don't believe in politics or yapping on about religion. Yes, I have Christ consciousness, and I believe in creator source, all of that. I'm a spiritual person. However, there's this big spiritual war going on, and there's a lot of distractions right now. And I find that right now the biggest distraction is what Trudeau is doing right now at the Emergencies Act. But if you follow that, you're going to see Biden and Trudeau now being linked for the Emergency Act. Well, guess what follows is FTX. So FTX has over 1 million creditors, and why this is all relevant right now is because there's money being covered up at such a level that they're not willing to talk about the Epstein files. So the other thing that's going on in Rotterdam, actually, I think it is there's riots going on from the people who just won their football game. So can you imagine if they actually didn't win, what would be happening? They're completely trashing my friend's city right now. I feel for him and his family. He's one of my favorite friends. For years, we've been friends on Instagram. I drew a picture of him years ago, and I just think it's horrific that his city's being trashed over a football game. That they won. They won it. So, the other thing I want to talk about is the one thing I will be talking about further in a video, but you must have seen the video circulating around about how much money CPS makes for each child and how much, what the statistics are. So, for every one child that's in CPS, they usually end up being a street person or human trafficked, human trafficked. And then 88% of them end up having like even more horrific things happen to them. So we need to kind of end the cycle of the money laundering through the child family agencies that are going on. It happens in every single city. Every single city. So that's what we see going on there. Again, thank you to Andrea for always posting such awesome information. Oh, yeah, the Canadian TikTok star Mega Thacker dies unexpectedly. And we have just a lot of people. There was a group of people in China that got run over by a car. So they're showing us everything. So your job right now is to remain calm. Do not be attached to any sort of outcome, vibration. It just is. This is not, some of this information coming out isn't for us. Okay? It's just to expose what is going on. Literally, it is a movie we're watching, and God wins at the end. We just have to keep that vibration like the highest light that we can hold right now, however that looks. And 4D is truth. It's just about raising your vibration to that. If we go back to the little charts that I made, the 3D is like the lower vibes, anything below your heart, and then 4D is truth, and anything love and above is 5D. You know, we have to be patient, loving, kind, because I do think the scare event is coming. Apparently, Putin fell down the stairs and shit his pants today, so shit's about to go down. Maybe that's the signal. Yeah, my bank account is no longer makes me pay credit cards. Wow, good for you. I think I read that right. Come on, comments pop back up. So let me see if I can pop this button and get a comment. Oh, here we go. Morning, boohoo, long time. Alberta is on its own. Yeah. Bank account no longer allows me to pay on my credit cards. It's gone. That's how I read it. That is fantastic. I'm so happy for you. Yeah, that's how it's gonna look. Is we're just all of a sudden, like, I've seen people just not pay their credit cards in the last 2 years, not pay their income taxes. Some people have not paid their mortgages. I have not encouraged anybody to do that. I have just informed people of what people are doing and what it's going to look like. To me, it is going to be just all of a sudden a zeroing out. So what we have to do is wait until all of our banks in, it looks like Canada is broke AF. Okay, there's no money there because they're spending the last of their money, sending it, like Trudeau and Biden and all of those people, they're sending it to Ukraine, money laundering. So we're just waiting. This is literally how long it took to get the money to collapse. And the FTX scandal is like the one that's tying them all together. So they are scrambling like there's never been a scramble before. Like, holy. So, I got 4 cards. So, here we go today with the card reading. Ooh, look at that. The Serpent, which is all about knowledge and healing. The Fire Fairy, which is about creative action and optimism. That's exactly what we're hearing right now. Grand rising, everybody. Look at this card. The Raven pops up. It's about magic, coincidence, synchronistic events. And the Merlin, which is about the alchemy and justice and balance. So that is literally the perfect card reading for today. Knowledge and healing, like it is about knowledge and healing so much because we can't heal ourselves if we don't have the knowledge to do it. Sometimes we get stuck, so we have to go through. That's like the truth card for me, like, oh, this is just such a beautiful reading. I'm going to take a picture of it. I love it. And yeah, the synchronistic events and just accepting the magic. Yeah, so to all my friends and fam jam out there, I love you, and I'm always grateful that you watch these videos and share them. Um, but right now, what are, like, if you followed me this whole time on here, I don't say follow if you've joined me. Um, please keep your vibrations high. It is very, very important to attach that energetic happiness of us watching the end of the movie, especially for me here, and knowing that family has been reunited and I've met children that I've been fighting for. Like, this just gives me goosebumps all over my body when I say stuff like that. The happiness of being together and meeting all of you, because once this happens, I'm going on tour, and this is why I think the universe has pushed me to live in a suitcase again. You're gonna go traveling, Raven. You're gonna go meet all your friends out there, and I can't wait to. I love you all, and I've just been really grateful for every single experience and every single person in my life. And my friend and I were talking yesterday, and she mentioned forgiveness, and I said, I don't even think forgiveness is a thing anymore for ourselves, because it just is. We've come this far for everything, and what anybody has ever said or done or whatever that has been through their own healing or their truth or what have you, it just is, and it was necessary to be in another state of or place as it is, because that's how we grow. So that's what the serpent is all about, and it is number 23 on the card. So oh, by the way, the other thing I wanted to mention, the CEO of Enbridge is stepping down today after 10 years. No coincidence. There's some other things. So on the silly putty news, they're they're telling a lot of things that are preparing people. Blackstone isn't taking any. The crypto company isn't redeeming anything anymore. So FTX is tied right directly to BlackRock and Vanguard. And BlackRock and Vanguard, they've got a lot of business in a lot of bad places, and they're tied. Like, I did a video a couple years ago linking all of them together. So yeah, no coincidences there. 17 minutes in, I love it. So here we go for fun times. Everybody hunker down, get your warrior boots on, put your armor of God on, do your prayers of protection, but most of all, manifest the happy outcome of freedom for all, health for all, equality for all worldwide. So we know that it's 4114. I love it. We know that the best is coming to us, and we know we have been very abundant all this time in our love and gratitude for one another. So I am really super grateful for everybody, and I'm super grateful to have met new friends. Hey, I was telling my new friend I met, I can't even say, it feels like I'm name dropping, but I met this really soul sister the other day who's an Olympic medalist, and my mom would have died 1,000 deaths to know that I had dinner and was just talking to this beautiful human. And yeah, it was like sisters from another mister, and it was just an awesome experience. So we all must come together, no more of the is this person bad or good. Let's just manifest an outcome that everybody is united, abundant, standing in joy, dancing in the streets, and we're not living with minus 20, 40-degree weather anymore. And yeah, so I'm just really looking forward to meeting all of you and going on the road. But first, vacation. I'm going on vacation next week, so I probably won't be doing too many shows um, unless something magical happens, and I'll just show you maybe a glimpse where I am. So all I'll tell you is I'm going to the mountains, and it's colder there, sort of, in a weirder way, just humid and where I'm going, but it's going to be beautiful and I'm really looking forward to it. So I love you guys all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see some of you very soon. You know what I'm talking about. Light and love, everybody.